Hi, I'm Jay, EscobarJ.com. This video is Break Up, How to Move On. And today, the subtopic from this topic is going to be Feel It to Heal It. And I've talked a lot about this in the past. And the thing with breakups is you have to be able to accept the reality of the situation. When you first break up, it can be very, very difficult for things to sink in, especially the first few days. I know for me personally, it was difficult to accept that the fact that this person was no longer going to be in my life. And you kind of go through a denial period where the first few days you just feel like it's not real. You feel like, the initial shock of it all is like, is this really happening? Or, is this for reals? And it can be difficult to like digest and accept that reality. Typically, and I know for me, from experience, after a few days, usually things will begin to sink in. And from that point, once things start sinking in, you have a choice. You can either accept the feelings and accept the hurt, accept the pain, and learn to move through those feelings and pain, or you can choose to be in denial and essentially sweep them under the rug and pretend like they aren't there or just ignore them. To me, obviously, it's a pretty clear choice. I mean, obviously, if you look at it on paper like that, it's pretty clear and obvious which one you should do. But a lot of times when you're in the situation, your emotions get the best of you and, you can get upset, you can get angry. And when you're angry and upset and fearful, you tend to ignore things or push them back into the back of your mind. But that's the worst thing you can do. Obviously, the healthier choice is to feel the pain, is to, you know, not ignore it. You feel it, you bear it, you try your best. And this sounds maybe a little weird or controversial, but you want to do your best to relish and enjoy the pain, because life is pain. Life is about, it's a process of going through pain and learning from those mistakes and improving yourself to learn from those mistakes to do better in the future. A lot of people just feel like the pain's too much to bear and they opt to just ignore it or stuff the feelings or sweep them away. And when that happens, when you do that, it builds and 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 it builds more, to the point to where you have either a nervous breakdown, you explode in anger, or you go through emotional turmoil. And that's definitely not healthy. And the thing about that, if that process, is that negativity attracts more negativity. So the more you stuff those feelings, the more you ignore them, push them off to the side, sweep them under the rug, the more negative tension is going to be built up in your body. And the more negative tension you have in your body, the more negative you're going to attract to yourself in your life. And that's not healthy. And even worse, the negative energy can be stored in your muscles, in your back, in your spine, in your brain stem. And that can cause even more tension and produces a compounding negative side effect over the course of time, of course. Because the more, eventually you'll start going through more negative things, you'll start stuffing those feelings down, you'll start sweeping those under the rug. And then that pain, that suffering never gets handled, it never gets released. And I know for me, I used to do that a lot, especially when I was growing up as a teenager in my early 20s. I would do that a lot because I didn't really know any better. But once you come to a place where you can accept that reality and allow yourself to fully feel your pain, that is the key to it. And that's why I call this feeling it, feel it to heal it. The way I like to do this, go through this process, is by getting very quiet. And I do it through meditation, prayer, quietness, and being in nature is another key one for me that really helped me. And the interesting thing is that by getting quiet, that's like the last thing you'd think of when you're going through a breakup, is like you feel like you need to just be busy, right? Because you want to just ignore it and just go do other things. And there is a time and a place for that. I'm going to get to that in a later video of taking action. But first, the first step is to get quiet, to listen to silence, and just to hear your thoughts, hear your own emotions, hear your own pain, and allow yourself to relish and feel that energy. And that's one of getting quiet. It's one of the surest ways to allow your suffering to let loose and be released from your body. You'll actually be surprised when you do this. I promise you, you'll be surprised at how fast you feel the negative energy and how fast that tension will dissipate as long as you're doing things correctly. And you just need to give yourself as much time as possible to really feel it. I mean, if you do it for 10 minutes, you may feel some, but you may have 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on how long your relationship was. It could be a while before you really feel that negative energy dissipate. It could take several sessions of being quiet. And that's why you need to take this time. It's very important to take the time to heal properly. And that involves getting quiet. Do an hour session. See how you feel after an hour. If you still feel negative energy, after that, do it again in a couple hours or the next day. And just keep doing that every day until you start feeling the negative energy dissipate. And this is the first step in moving on from a breakup. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so you never miss any of my videos. If you'd like to get my help, if you're going through a tough time, through a breakup, if you'd like to get my help, the quickest way is to book a coaching session on my website, escobarj.com. You can also shoot me an email there if you have a success story of how you got through a breakup successfully, or if you're going through a breakup, you need some help, you can email me. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can donate any amount of money you feel is worth the value of the information in this video or any of my other videos. You can donate $1, $2, $5, $1,000,000, whatever it is you feel is worth the value. That being said, do me a favor. If you know anybody who's going through a difficult breakup or going through a tough time, share this video with them and any other friends and family you have on any social media platform. It is my purpose to help as many people self-actualize, improve themselves, and get through difficult times in their life. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Make sure you're always learning, always growing, and always pushing forward. Take care.